As UFC 321 draws near, the buzz surrounding Tom Aspinall's heavyweight title defense against Ciryl Gane has reached a fever pitch.
Who's the person that needs to make the adjustments in this fight? Is it Gane or is it Aspinall?
Both guys have to make a pretty good adjustment because this will be the first time that Tom Aspinall is fighting a heavyweight that's as dynamic as he is, that can evade just as well, that can snipe you from either stance with either hand.
The first time that Ngannou fought Stipe Miocic, it was different, bro, because he was so accustomed to knocking people the hell out. By the time he got somebody that knew how to evade and use tactics and then wrestle, it changed the whole thing. But I just don't think Gane has that wrestling to really put that threat in a guy like Tom.
Also with Ciryl Gane, this is going to be the first time that he's going to be going up against a heavyweight that's potentially faster than he is, big, strong, but can move just as well as he can. I think it's going to be a shock for both guys, especially in that first round.
Fighters, analysts, and legends of the sport have all been weighing in, and the predictions are pouring in from every corner of the MMA world. While opinions differ on how the fight might unfold, most of the sport's biggest names seem to be leaning in one direction.
Tom Aspinall has been living a great moment. Ciryl Gane is a great fighter. He's experienced his season.
Tom is really good. Ciryl is much faster than his other opponents.
Tom Aspinall, I think until proven otherwise, he's the guy.
Hard to predict, but Ciryl Gane is very good too.
I would say Tom Aspinall. I think maybe TKO, ground the found.
Aspinall, he can do that.
Tom Aspinall, submission, first couple rounds.
Tom Aspinall, phenomenal heavyweight, great athlete, decision.
Ooh, I got Tom Aspinall in that one. It's heavyweight, so someone's getting knocked out. And if I think Tom's winning, then I guess I think Gane's getting knocked out.
Michael Venom Page was one of the first to throw his thoughts into the mix. Despite being a fan of Ciryl Gane's skillful style, Page couldn't help but emphasize his admiration for Tom Aspinall. He described the British champion as part of a new breed of heavyweights. Fast, smart, and technically sharp, much like John Jones in his prime. While Page still believes Gane's footwork and agility give him a shot at turning the tables, he noted that the Frenchman's best chance lies in improving the finer details of his game. If Gane can refine his timing and precision, Page thinks there is potential for him to land something big this time around.
Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. I'm sorry, for me, I'm a fan of Ciryl Gane as well. I just feel like Tom Aspinall is the next generation of the same thing we saw the likes of John Jones doing in terms of the dominant fashion that he took over his division. I feel like the same thing is going to happen with Tom Aspinall. That style at heavyweight is unseen. Ciryl Gane has a little bit of a bounce to him as well. I just don't think he's got the same snap and power that Tom Aspinall has, as well as the ground game as well. Although you probably won't see it in this fight, I feel like he could get a knockout in this fight.
Sean O'Malley didn't hesitate to back Aspinall. In his view, the heavyweight king is too well-rounded and composed to be dethroned. O'Malley even hinted that Tom could soon find himself in the kind of spotlight once reserved for stars like Alex Pereira.
Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane.
It's tricky. I think Cyryl's going to make it look a bit ugly, but then Tom will just clip him with something. He's very technical for a heavyweight.
There's that John Jones shadow. I feel it took a little off Tom.
Just made it look so easy. It took a lot of steam off Ciryl.
Tom's just got this different thing in him. Average fight time of like 1.5 minutes. There's just like a natural suddenness to everything he lands on people.
Inside Aspinall's camp, though, there is a quiet confidence that borders on certainty. Those closest to him have been talking about how razor-sharp he looks this time around. His training partner, Martin Bude, who's been alongside him every step of the way, says this version of Tom is the most complete one yet. Every session has been fine-tuned to perfection, from timing drills to technical sparring to strategic simulations. Aspinall's team believes this fight isn't just another title defense, it's a chance to send a message to the entire division that the British powerhouse is here to stay. The focus, the composure, and the physical readiness they've seen in him have convinced everyone around that he's not just aiming to win, he's aiming to dominate.
I love Tom Aspinall and his team, his father, everyone in that team. So I'm really looking up to that fight, and I will be cheering for Tom. I think he will secure a spectacular win and finish in that and defend the title. So I'm very happy for him. I'm really happy that I can be there and train with them. I'm really thankful. For the last fights, I was preparing with them so they really affected my game plan, my style, and everything. So I will be going there soon. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited for them all, and for Tom especially. He's my good friend.
But not everyone expects another quick finish. Alex Pereira, who knows a thing or two about elite-level striking, predicts this could be a far more tactical and drawn-out affair. He believes Gane has the tools to slow the pace, force Aspinall into unfamiliar territory, and test his composure in ways we haven't seen before. Pereira thinks that if Gane stays calm, avoids early exchanges, and uses his movement to frustrate the champion, the fight could turn into a long, strategic battle rather than a short explosion.
What do you think about Aspinall and Ciryl Gane? Like, who do you think you will win? Is the winner something that interests him?
Cara, ali é uma luta assim difícil, né? Mas, Tom Aspinall, campeão, vem mais confiante. Mas, assim, eu vejo que ele lutou com atletas também, assim, muito agressivo, entendeu? E ele tá levando a melhor ali, mas acho que o Ciryl Gane, ele é um cara assim mais, que movimenta mais. É um cara que não gosta de se expor, entendeu? Um pouco ali de medo e tal. Então, quando você tem um certo medo, um receio, você acaba não tomando muitos golpes. Então, a gente vai ver. Vamos ver, porque de repente ele pode frustrar um pouco, né? O Tom Aspinall ali, de passa ali primeiro, segundo, terceiro round e vai levando pro final. A gente não sabe como que ele vai se comportar também.
It's a tough fight, you know. Tom is a complete fighter, but I do feel like he's fought a lot of aggressive guys. And I think Gane is a guy who's going to do a lot of movement. He's going to be a little more cautious and you know, just moving around a lot. It might frustrate Tom. You know, so first, second, third round, maybe Tom can't find Ciryl Gane, so...
Alexander Volkanovski, one of the sport's most respected champions, sees things differently. Having once been a heavy hitter himself during his rugby days, Volkanovski knows what it's like to deal with true heavyweight power, and he's convinced Aspinall's will be too much. He imagines the champion storming through Gane early, finishing the fight either with a striking or through dominant grappling. In Volkanovski's mind, the only real risk Gane has to offer is landing something wild before getting overwhelmed. Otherwise, he sees Aspinall walking away with another statement win.
Gane, very safe striker, doesn't fully commit with big shots all the time. He picks his shots. How does that work against Tom Aspinall? He's one of the most explosive guys. Like, he's the fastest heavyweight I've ever seen. And I think he just bits us straight through Gane, to be quite honest, whether it's a takedown or even with the strike.
Teddy Atlas also sided with Aspinall but focused on a different angle. For Atlas, the key weapon in Tom's arsenal isn't his power or his speed, it's his composure. He admires how Aspinall stays calm under pressure and makes smart decisions even when chaos breaks out. That kind of mental steadiness, according to Atlas, is what separates great fighters from good ones. In a division often dominated by brute strength, he believes Aspinall's poise will prove to be the deciding factor against a technical but less mentally tested Gane.
Where I really give the edge to Aspinall is the mental area. And you know I'm big on that. That I think he's maybe a little stouter, a little more dependable, a little bit more together in the mental area. And like I always say, a fight ain't a fight till there's something to overcome. And then you find out. I'll say if that something to overcome happens, Aspinall will overcome it and he'll win.
Light heavyweight contender Johnny Walker joined the conversation with a confident prediction. He respects Gane's abilities but doesn't believe the Frenchman is operating on the same level as the reigning champ. Walker sees Aspinall as the more complete athlete, faster, sharper, and far more unpredictable. In his mind, the fight doesn't last long. He expects another swift finish, reminding fans that Aspinall never wastes time once the cage door closes.
Yeah, I believe Tom Aspinall, he had to fight, bro. He was waiting for John for so long, you know, and that would be a really good run back for him, and I believe he's gonna fight. He's as well one of a kind, you know. He's big, have speed, Tom Aspinall, and of course Gane have speed as well and big, but I believe Aspinall is more complete and a little bit better than him, and he doesn't spend much time on the octagon, so I believe it's gonna be a quick finish as well.
Israel Adesanya also made waves with his take. Always analytical when it comes to striking matchups, Adesanya pointed out that while Gane might hold the advantage in movement and footwork, Aspinall's combination of speed and raw power is unmatched. What intrigued Adesanya most, however, was how Tom might handle a longer fight. Since most of his wins have come early, Adesanya is curious to see how the champion performs if the bout drags into the later rounds. Still, curiosity aside, he remains confident that Aspinall's precision and finishing instincts will eventually take over, ending the fight before the judges get involved.
This is not going to go the distance. I don't think so. And the thing is, the unknown is Aspinall in the later rounds. No one's seen it. I haven't seen it, so we want to know. And this is where it's like me and the Gaston fight. People are like, what's he going to be like in round 4 or 5? And this is where you showcase who you are, showcase your fighting spirit, showcase how clean you work, even in the championship rounds.
Does Tom test Gane's grappling early?
It'd be smart to. I mean, you've seen how his loss to John was. He knows he's the better grappler, I'm sure, or he feels, I'm sure, he's the better grappler. So why not mix it up early? I said not just test his grappling, but mix it up early. Use the go for a strike with him, bridge the gap, get as close as possible first off, and then get him tired, and then you can start working from there. For Gane, use the fucking teep, the oblique kick, the jab. You got the reach on him. Damn. Oh, bro, use that jab. I'm gonna go Tom in this fight just because the momentum's crazy, man. The way he's been finishing guys. Yeah, and I'm not gonna say it's gonna be an easy, because styles make fights. Just because John, dispatched Ciryl easily doesn't mean it's gonna be the same with Tom. But again, Tom can bridge that gap, and that speed with the fucking mass he has behind it is a dangerous weapon. I like Gane, I like his style. I just want to see a good fight, and I think it's going to be a fucking high level mixed martial arts heavyweight fight. This is what we're going to see in this fight. It's going to be the highest. This is the baddest man on the planet, like title, isn't it? The heavyweight guy is always the baddest man on the planet. So this is for the belt.
Michael Bisping broke things down from a tactical perspective, focusing more on what Gane could do to flip the script. He believes Gane's best route to victory lies in maintaining constant movement, using range control, and frustrating Tom with footwork. Bisping thinks Gane needs to fight smart, stay on the outside, and force Aspinall to chase him, wearing him down both mentally and physically. He admits that it's a tall order, but if Gane can stay disciplined and avoid getting drawn into early exchanges, the fight might end up being much closer than people think.
And he's learned from the lessons from losing to John Jones. He lost to Francis Ngannou by getting out wrestled. He lost to John Jones by getting taken down and choked out. And don't tell me that he hasn't worked on this element of his game. Of course he has. Cyryl's a smart man, and he's going to come up with a game plan. What's the game plan going to look like? It's going to be a lot of movement. It's going to be dancing around the octagon and avoiding the grappling at all costs, staying light on the feet, dancing around, moving, sticking, pump a jab, move around, throw a kick, just doing whatever he can to avoid.
Chael Sonnen brought up a concern that others have touched on, but few have emphasized. While recognizing Aspinall's incredible movements, Sonnen reminded everyone that Tom has never gone the full 5 rounds in a professional fight. He questioned whether the champion's high-tempo style could hold up if the fight turns into a marathon rather than a sprint. In Sonnen's eyes, that's where Gane could shine, by pushing Aspinall into deep waters and making endurance and fight IQ the real battleground. If fatigue sets in, Sonnen believes that's where Gane's experience could start to pay off.
To defending an undisputed title, which by the way is so important right now. If Tom doesn't win here, imagine the history books. I mean, imagine, you'd almost be embarrassed. The history books are going to call you the undisputed champion, but you didn't win it in the ring. You didn't have that actual fight. I mean, it's one of these tough things. Tom did nothing wrong. I'm sharing with you some of the stuff, that the weight that's on Tom's shoulders. In addition to all that, you have the John Jones factor. Tom needs to go out in some fashion and look as though he could handle a common opponent in Ciryl in a way better or more impressively than John Jones. This is an impossible task.
Curtis Blaydes, another top heavyweight, added his own insights from a wrestler's perspective. He sees Aspinall as the superior grappler and thinks that if Tom can survive any early pressure from Gane, he'll have the advantage once the fight hits the mat. Blaydes expects Aspinall to eventually take control through wrestling, using his balance and control to wear Gane down before sealing the win.
I believe that Aspinall does have the advantage though in that the grappling department. I believe that whenever he wants to, he'll be able to push Ciryl on his back, and he may not have to, but I believe he can if he does have to, and I believe that'll be the difference if he gets out of the first round. I'll go with Aspinall.
Among the online analysts, none have been more vocal than MMA Guru, who's built a large following through his animated breakdowns. He has been buzzing about this matchup for weeks, and while acknowledging that Gane is a live threat, he still believes Aspinall keeps the belt. For him, Tom's speed is the X factor, the thing that will make the difference once the action heats up. Guru envisions a fight that doesn't end instantly but also doesn't go long. He predicts that around the 3 to 4 minute mark, Aspinall will secure a takedown, establish control, and finish the fight from there.
I don't think the double leg will work for Aspinall here, but I think he's going to sting Gane on the feet. He's going to make a point to do it. He's going to make a point to sting Gane with something on the feet, and I think he will. Tag him with a jab with his head on the outside of Gane's lead hand. Tag him with a left hook or a 1-2-3, and it's going to be like, oh my god, this guy's fast. And he stings Gane, and Gane kind of shakes it off. Now he's sort of on the back foot. I reckon we could see a situation where Tom gets the body lock takedown. He got it against Volkov in their fight. He has good body lock takedowns. Normally you see him pick up people by their hips or get his hands together under the arse and scoop out beneath them and this type of stuff. But I think because they're going to clash, because I think Gane's going to try and get him coming in and Aspinall's going to be closing in like frequent bursts, I think we're going to see Aspinall anticipate that Gane's going to be on the back foot and he's going to be waiting for Tom to rush in. And Gane does a lot of stuff where he's light on his lead leg. He does have a good sprawl, which I don't think is where Tom's going to go for a double leg. But I could see Tom getting a body lock, throw, and we're in side control. Or we're in half guard. And from there, I think that's where we see a Kimura. Don't think it'll be a straight arm lock, even though he does have an arm lock. I think it'll be a Kimura on Gane. He'll land some shots, get maybe a crucifix type position, elbows, punches, maybe like 3-4 minute fight I'm thinking of here, 2-3 minutes. It's not going to be quick. Well, for Tom, it's not going to be quick. I think it'll be 3 or 4 minutes. So that's a long time for a Tom Aspinall fight, guys, which is crazy to say out loud. But I reckon he gets the body lock takedown on Gane. And I think that's where he can get Gane.
Daniel Cormier, one of the most accomplished heavyweights in history, sees the fight as a rare balance between two elite athletes rather than a one-sided affair. He believes both men bring high fight IQs and different kinds of danger to the octagon. To him, this isn't about dominance but about contrast. Aspinall's blend of grappling and explosiveness against Gane's smooth technical striking. Cormier expects a fight that plays out like a chess match where every mistake could cost everything.
We finally got Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane. Chill, we've been screaming about this Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane for a long time. UFC 321, Tom minus 325, Gane plus 260. We finally got the fight, but the world doesn't seem to believe, Chael, that it's a close fight. And I don't really agree with that line. I think this fight is much closer. Tom Aspinall minus 325, Ciryl Gane plus 265.
Ian Gary chimed in with a more emotional perspective. He mentioned how some fans still question whether Aspinall truly earned his rapid rise to the top or simply benefited from Jon Jones stepping away. Gary believes this fight is Tom's opportunity to silence all the doubters. Beating Gane, a proven elite contender, would erase any remaining skepticism and firmly establish Aspinall as the rightful face of the heavyweight division. Gary sees UFC 321 not just as a title defense, but as a defining moment in the Brit's career.
I don't see that fight getting out of the first round. Right. I think Tom is phenomenal. I think he's absolutely the best heavyweight we've ever seen in the UFC. I said to him, it sucks to win the belt that way, to be the champion this way, that no one's going to remember that in 3 fights' time. They're just going to remember what you've done and that you are the champion of the world and you're the best in the division, and that's it.
Jailton Almeida, one of the division's most dangerous grapplers and a potential future challenger himself, also made his confidence known. He's convinced that Aspinall retains his belt, and not just barely, but decisively. Almeida admires Tom's disciplined mindset and constant focus on improvement. What stands out to him is how Aspinall never gets distracted by fame or outside attention. In contrast, Almeida hinted that Gane might not be as locked in as he once was, with his growing interest in film and entertainment possibly pulling him away from peak preparation. Almeida believes that mental sharpness and focus will give Aspinall the crucial edge when the cage door closes.
That Aspinall beats Gane, you know, it seems like Gane has other priorities in his life right now, and once you're fighting at this level, there can be no other priority. You know, if you're fighting at this level, if you're fighting for the heavyweight crown of the UFC, you have to be all in, and it doesn't seem like that's the case for Gane right now. So I don't know, you know, and that's the thing. I get it that he's taking it because, you know, who's not going to take another title fight for the heavyweight belt, but I think, you know, his priorities are in a different place now.
As fight night approaches, one thing's clear. Most of the MMA world is betting on Tom Aspinall to get the job done. From champions to analysts, from coaches to contenders, the consensus is that his mix of speed, composure, and complete skill set makes him the man to beat. But in the unpredictable world of heavyweight MMA, anything can happen. Ciryl Gane's technical mastery, patience, and movement could still pose serious problems if he plays his cards right.